Hey everybody, it's Adrian Zduńczyk, CMT Charter Market Technician, CryptoBirb, and I'm here joined today by our incredible partners at Credefi, who are coming here to Singapore to talk in 2029 events with Ivo Grigorov. How are you feeling, Ivo?
Hey guys, pleasure to be here. Amazing, really. The event has been full of exciting and new acquaintances and very, let's say, fruitful meetings so far. The weather is beautiful. Everybody is really hyped, especially regarding RWA, to be honest. And we're very happy to be here in person with you guys.
Oh my man, it's always a good pleasure to meet you as well, Ivo, in person.
Same.
And speaking of Singapore, before I came in, I would pack a lot of the raincoats, a lot of stuff,
Yeah.
because the weather forecast would show a lot of rain,
Yeah.
and none of that is happening. It seems, right? There's a beautiful weather, beautiful sun, beautiful environment as well. We are here in the Apex office, who are also our partners. So shout out to Apex for allowing us to record this video in their office, and having this opportunity to talk to Ivo in person, right?
Yeah.
Knowing how creative and a relationship so far it's been to work with you as the partners. What's been happening in behind the scenes? What's been cooking? What have you been busy on lately with the latest developments?
Well, you guys are pretty much up to date with quite a few of the stuff which we have been releasing, our utilities and so on. But we haven't stopped there. There is a couple of new products which we're about to introduce. Of course, we have mentioned it a couple of times, our NFT corporate bonds, but we're mentioning it because they're so important. We actually had a couple of meetings with potential partners and already existing partners regarding them yesterday already. Today we have another 2-3 meetings regarding this as well. But also our peer-to-peer section is opening up in let's say couple of weeks, hopefully. And on top of that, we have a couple of other developments regarding insurance, which we're basically having discussion with a couple of traditional financial institutions and basically insuring companies. So a lot of exciting aspects are coming out of Credefi in the next couple of weeks, months. We are aiming to release all of them by December, hopefully. And the opportunity to be here, meet everybody within the space, network, and of course, think of this new world and new prospects to how we can design financial instruments together is incredible.
Yeah, right on, Ivo. I mean, what I'm thinking as well in terms of the latest developments is I've seen there's a lot of spotlight on the xCREDI utilities, right?
Yeah.
So why don't we roll it out, a little bit and explain what those utilities are again and where it's heading?
Of course. Well, xCREDI is our governance token. I mean, overall, it is designed for our very core believers and community. It is designed in a way where at certain point in time, Credefi will be kind of run by the community, by the guys who have governance and have xCREDI. But for now, we're releasing them one by one. For now, what you can enjoy is basically instant ROI, something which is quite novice in the space. The whole idea is that you can actually compound it straight away without having to wait to maturity. We're able to do that because we already have an active portfolio with positive cash flows. So people can actually instantly basically get the return on their investment before the maturity on the principal, and they can actually reinvest it as well. And this would technically increase their APY in a very sustainable manner. So we're not increasing it by diluting our portfolio or by diluting our tokens. We are increasing it in a very sustainable way, let's say. The other very interesting aspect would be the insurance factor of xCREDI.
So that's also, also it comes at the right time, right? Because we're very good partners at the Birb, as very good allies to Credefi. We not only subscribe to the mission and the vision and what you're building basically alongside your team, Ivo. That's also well reflected in the chart lately. Some time ago, I shared just a couple of days ago, I shared the chart analysis for Credefi, for the token for CREDI. With the ticker, and well, it's been holding fairly well, ever since obviously, the entire crypto came down for the past 6 months. It's been kind of like a slight downhill, downsloping market. Credefi has been holding the floor fairly nicely, right? There's been some compression on the price side, which comes in a lot of anticipation, I should say, right? Because there's a lot of good and promising aspects, coming in the quarter 4, right? You have a lot rolling up as well in September. So why don't we kind of bring a little bit of light to what's ahead?
Yeah, as I previously just mentioned, like there is a lot coming. Definitely, our products, the peer-to-peer lending prospect and product, as well as the NFT corporate bonds, which are gonna be launched with several partners simultaneously. So all of this is something to look forward to. Also, another thing which is very, I think, useful and will be useful to our users, and it's also part of the utilities which we have, is the fact that you could actually, let's say, lend out crypto within the platform, and then at certain point, let's say you have gotten your return, you have gotten your principal, or you just want to spend only the interest rate part, you can directly exchange it on our platform. So we call it the IBAN service. So you can directly exchange it on our platform and send fiat to your bank account and spend it basically. So this is something which I do think is very useful. Also, even for tax purposes, because you will be able to show where you have deposited, what amount you have received, the interest rate on it, and that would be great for users if they want to basically spend some of their proceeds, let's say.
True.
This is also coming by December, and well, I have another couple of let's say couple of leads which I'm not too comfortable sharing right now, but one or two of them are very, very big. And potentially, that's also one of the reasons why we're here in Singapore, to meet with a couple of people. So potentially they would be, very, very favorable to our community, to our investors. So yeah, fingers crossed.
Good. It's good that you always care about the traders, investors, the community members, right? It's very important. Which actually takes me to the next point, right? Because you're here for the very particular reasons, like I mentioned, to meet those people, to develop the network and just go deeper on the corporate solutions, as well as the utility that you have for the traders, investors within DeFi. And you would have just attended the panel, right? The RWA Unwind. So what's the recap? What's the stance?
Well, the event was organized by our partners from Polytrade, who are great, by the way. Their marketplace for RWA assets is really great, and a lot of the whole panel, the whole event, which is a side event to Token, was attended by different companies which are in the space. Some are tokenizing companies, others are, such as Credefi, are platforms which are utilizing RWA and which are lending out. For example, in our panel, there was this company called Open Eden. We had a very fruitful discussion during the panel, but also after the panel as well. What they're tokenizing is T-bills. They're actually the only Moody's rated ones. So I'm very confident we had such a good discussion. But as I said, I prefer not to say some stuff, but actually not only trading and buying RWAs, but actually utilizing them in your financial goals, that's what we're trying to achieve at Credefi, and I see that many people are starting to recognize that not only acquiring the asset, but actually, for example, leveraging on it, being able to borrow against it, being able to put it on your books, even as a company, even as a, let's say, if we want to attract liquidity from Web2 or from the traditional space, all of these factors are very important. People are starting to recognize it. There is a couple of companies which are doing great breakthroughs in actually, having, tokenizing real estate, tokenizing T-bills, very valuable assets, but also what we're technically doing with our NFT bonds is tokenizing debt as well. But the interoperability of these tokenized assets is as important as actually, developing them and, just selling them out there. So these partnerships and these networking, which we just discussed, this is what it's all about. Okay, there is, companies which are, let's say, only tokenizing the asset, but then when you tokenize it, what do? You have bought it. Sure. Can you borrow against it? How can you borrow against it? Can you sell it freely? Would that bring more liquidity to you? Does it make it more liquid? There was this one lady who is, again, from the panel and from the event, which we had a discussion with as well. For example, what we discussed is that there is this real estate, for example. People think that when you tokenize real estate, you would more easily, let's say, liquidate it or sell it or trade it. This is not exactly the case. You still need valuation on the part, for example. You still need some kind of security. And, bad real estate wouldn't be sold easier by just tokenizing it.
True.
So there is some misconceptions, but what we're very happy is that we see in the space people are starting to reconsider them, let's say, and we are choosing the best, let's say, partners and people which we want to work with. We are going to be accepting tokenized assets as collateral. So it is very important for us to choose the right partners who have tokenized the right assets in order to accept it. Otherwise, you would have a lot of defaults and wouldn't have a way to recuperate your funds. And this is what happens to quite a few, let's say, projects which are not very, performing a thorough risk assessment, let's say, on what they accept as collateral.
Got it. That makes sense. I mean, all that comes together around Token 2049, right? In Singapore, that is one of the big, capitals basically for the financial districts, right? We're here close with, like you mentioned, completely different type of a market inside of the market than the American market, than the European market. Still, it's definitely one of the largest hubs, especially with cryptocurrencies, right? With tokens, Singapore is a very, very fertile ground, I'd say, for a lot of incredible projects and a lot of incredible communities. And also, this is a shout out to everybody who's watching this from Singapore, right? Because we have a lot of great friends and great people in Singapore, and you have incredible, beautiful country. And with that Token 2049 taking part basically in starting tomorrow, right? If that's where it starts, if that's where it's. Are you joining for tomorrow's event?
Yeah, we're gonna basically we're trying to make the most of it. Actually, even yesterday we had only like 3 hours of sleep, but still, we're trying to make the most meetings. So we're joining most of the events, especially the bigger ones. Token definitely, of course, and a couple of others. Also, even the event you're organizing, very happy to be part of it and to be invited to it.
Excellent, right on. And this is definitely, like I mentioned, very fertile ground and very fertile time to keep building, right? To keep building up it's a no sleep season, just like I mentioned, Ivo. It's just getting started. The entire Q4 lines up to be one of the good stellar performance for the markets itself, for the markets themselves, as well as for that entire year coming after, right? 2025 seems, alongside the interest rate cut decision, which is right around the corner this Wednesday, from the FOMC, most likely going to be announced by the chairman of the Fed, Jay Powell, this lines up for a lot of good stimulus for the businesses for the lower cost of borrowing, and for a lot of stimulus for the liquidity, because that means basically that by lowering the interest rates, or actually lowering the interest rates, comes together with pumping the money back into the markets, into the liquidity and to money aggregate. So all that comes at the right time, and timing is very important.
I think the whole industry has been gearing up, and especially from what I have seen up until now for the past 2 days, like everybody is full throttle. So at Credefi as well, yeah, as I said, I think very exciting times are coming.
Good. I'm excited as much as you are, Ivo. And well, what can I say more? So we are sending, both Ivo and I, we are sending very deep greetings to everybody, straight from Singapore. Sunny, beautiful, almost cloudless Singapore that was otherwise supposed to be rainy, and it's not. And we're here.
I think it's a sign for the future, right?
Exactly. Maybe that's it, right? The future is bright. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. We just have to get past September, which is the worst period, the worst month for the traditional markets, for S&P, for Nasdaq, for Bitcoin as well. And just like I said, with incredible partners, with great projects, especially on the RWA side, with Credefi on side, the future might be even brighter. So this is just to say big thanks and shout out to you, Ivo, who are doing great work alongside your team. Shout out to all the Credi community. And well, if you're not familiar with the project, go ahead to their Twitter account. And just to make sure, their Twitter account, you're going to find literally at Credefi. And that tag, the handle is Credefi_finance, right? Credefi_finance. Make sure you hit the follow button on them, hit the notification bells on, because this is definitely the right place to be for everybody who enjoys crypto and DeFi and RWAs. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been joined by Ivo Grigorov of Credefi.
Thank you. Really appreciate the opportunity to speak with you once again and to see you in person.
Ivo, my friend. I've been your host, Adrian Zduńczyk, CMT Charter Market Technician. Peace out. God bless.